make your ride a little bit more pleasant, a little bit more pleasurable, and that includes auto sound and having an upgraded stereo system. But not only that, like in the old days, maybe attaching something underneath your dashboard. There's so many integrated systems now that you can have that go just beyond playing music, things that actually will help you in your daily tasks. We're here to talk about some of those new products from Santa Clarita Auto Sound. David, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, we're talking about this. I mean, with the smartphone technology and everything else, there are now systems that can be installed in your vehicle that integrate with your smartphone.
Yes, there's many ways to do that.
So tell me a little bit. Okay, I've got an Android device, and I want it to work with my car. What are some of the things that can be done once these devices are installed?
So there's one that you can control your car, where you can start it, lock it, unlock it, track it, and everything else with your phone. And then there's also another one that'll integrate your information. Like, let's say if you wanted to run your GPS onto the unit, into the stereo, you can run your apps, Spotify, navigation from your phone onto the screen. So there's two different ones. So the main one that I guess we can, the main one right now that I want to mention is the Android Auto that's available right now, and then there's also the same version for the iPhones, which is the Apple CarPlay. So those are pretty much the same thing, where you would just plug in your phone and it'll come up onto the radio, where you can run your apps and navigation and Spotify and everything from your phone.
Well, that's really good, and especially in a situation where maybe you're in a place where you'd like to have your car started before you get in. Maybe it's a situation where you're in a strange part of town, you don't know where you're at, you don't want to have to fumble for keys or even make sure that you're close enough to hit the key fob button to unlock. You can just have it started, ready for you, waiting to. Does it also control? Can it control your air conditioning and stuff as well as some of those devices, or no?
Yes. So when you do the remote start, it doesn't really control the temperature, but as long as your AC is already set. Let's say if it's a hot day, your AC is set, and then if you do the remote start, it'll cool the inside of the vehicle.
So there it is. So you can even give yourself like a minute or two to get in, because especially in our hot summer days where we can reach over 110 degrees on some of those particular hot days, that's particularly wonderful. There's nothing worse than driving in a hot car. So, and this goes beyond, like originally we had AM, FM was what we had to choose from as far as radio goes, but now you got your Spotify account, you got all these other accounts you can actually run through. You can probably even also run your KHTS streaming app through your car with relative ease and be able to listen to us wherever you are. No matter, as long as you have an internet connection. So that's outstanding. Santa Clarita Auto Sound, of course, because a lot of people, and the reason I'm talking about these, David, because a lot of people think of auto sound, that you're going to go there to get those big giant subwoofers that you're going to, make the walls vibrate as you drive down the street. But in a lot of cases, a lot of people, sophisticated drivers, just want something that's integrated that really is useful to them on their long commutes, right?
Yes, definitely.
So that is something. But if you do like that subwoofer, you want that big sound, I tell you, you guys at the KHTS Home and Garden Show, you had some demonstrations that you probably heard halfway across Valencia. So you can have that really awesome sound system as well. Whatever your pleasure for your car sound system and stereo integration, Santa Clarita Auto Sound has it.
Yes.
So SantaClaritaAutoSound.com. They are at 25845 Railroad Avenue, Unit 10. Now, that is next door to Saugus Cafe, just south of it, on the west side of Railroad Avenue. You can't miss them. Nice big sign out there. This is really exciting, David. Thank you so much for stopping by, and good luck and continued success.
Thank you.
You bet. Talking about the commute, talking about how much time you spend in your car, whether you are a commuter coming from Santa Clarita going to LA or beyond, or whether you just drive around town, whether you have a job that requires you to be in your vehicle a lot, or you're schlepping the kids back and forth to the soccer games and whatnot, or school, there's a really good reason to make sure that your car is one of the most comfortable places, not only in seating and amenities, but also with your sound system. Because even when you're listening to KHTS or anything else, or some of your favorite music, really good sound can make the difference in your level of enjoyment, in some cases your stress level. Here to talk about auto sound and all things awesome that can be installed in your vehicle is David from Santa Clarita Auto Sound. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, this is really important because a lot of times we think of auto sound, we think of going in, getting our big subwoofers and things that are going to, and rattle the windows, when in effect, what it really is about, and especially for a lot of people who are professionals in this valley, it really is talking about fidelity and just a good system that can provide you with the best quality of sound, correct?
Yes.
And so tell me some of the products that you might have. All right, I've got my stock stereo, it's okay. But, if I turn it up a little bit or if I change to a certain type of music, it doesn't seem to sound right. It's either too trebly, too bassy. I don't have enough control over the sound. What might you recommend that I install?
The first off, the source would be the number one thing to change. And then certain vehicles, like the newer vehicles, you can't really change the source, so you can add like a sound processor to it. So number one, if you have a vehicle that you can change the source, whatever that's going to read the CD or the AM/FM tuner, to make it better, that's the number one thing to change. And then from there, changing the amplifier and then the speakers will make a huge difference from there, I guess.
Right. And you got a wide array, because a lot of times we think, okay, the stop speakers from the auto manufacturer are it, but really when we think of it, it's like your home stereo system. You want to take into account, I should say, wattage and also frequency response and things like that.
Yes, and then the actual quality of the speakers too. A lot of the times the manufacturers from like the vehicle manufacturers, they make the speakers with very little tiny magnets, and then they actually make the speakers out of cardboard. So there's a lot of flex in them, and then they definitely will distort very quickly, and sometimes even blow in a short period of time, like I would say a couple of years or so, depending on how loud you play them and stuff like that. So the quality of the speaker actually makes a huge difference. So the manufacturer speakers are usually, even if it's a premium sound Bose, they're made out of cardboard. You want to get something that's a little bit better. I mean, usually you like to get something a little bit better that sounds much better, I guess.
Right, and so cardboard, you were talking about another substance that is not only flexible so that it provides the vibration, which is what's necessary to make actually speakers work, because sound is all talking about our sound vibrations that are translated into electronically through and amplified out. But you also want to make sure that they are flexible but still strong enough to withstand either volume or frequency response, correct?
Well, no, you actually want it not to flex, the actual cone. So when it's made out of paper, the actual cone flexes, so that's why you get a lot of distortion.
Okay.
So you want something that's pretty, rigid and solid, where it's not gonna flex. The actual speaker is gonna come in and out,
right.
But the actual material,
the cone inside. Okay, got it. It's been a while since I've taken my stereo apart. But this is very important, and it's true that when we spend a lot of time in our cars, we want really good quality sound. And we've also touched in previous interviews on such amenities you have for smartphone devices, the things that could all be integrated, so that this is not just a stereo like in the old days. We click on and find our favorite AM or FM stereo or pop our cassettes in. There's so many things that this can do. You've got systems that can integrate your apps from your smartphone, navigation technology. Let's say, for example, going beyond the radio to such things as Spotify and other sound apps that you can listen to your favorite music at your disposal. I don't want to listen to whatever's on the radio. I want to listen to Led Zeppelin or something like that and go right there. So again, we're talking about the opportunity to really turn your car into a place that can provide you with that level of relaxation as you're going from point A to point B, no matter where that is.
Yes.
Outstanding. Santa Clarita Auto Sound.com. David knows everything about auto sound and things. What is best for your car, and that's what's really important, because you might not want the big giant subwoofers in your Honda Odyssey, but you want something that's going to be really, really nice for long road trips and vacations and things like that. He will take care of you. They are located at 25845 Railroad Avenue, Unit 10. That is just next door to the Saugus Cafe, just south of there on the west side of Railroad Avenue. You can't miss them. You see Saugus Cafe, just turn right into the next driveway and you can find them, or left if you're coming up from the other way. So perfect. David, thank you so much for stopping by. Always a pleasure, and continued success to you, sir.
Thank you.